As a forex trader, nothing beats having a trading strategy, and not just a random trading strategy, but a strategy you can actually trust that actually delivers results any single time you need it. Unlike other trading videos, in this particular video, we are going to do a live backtesting of one of the most easiest trading strategies that you can ever use out there. So guys, now that we are on my chart, let's get straight. Let me share with you the rules you need to look out for when trading this strategy. And the rules are very important if you really want to go far with this particular trading strategy, because getting any of them wrong will actually cost you a lot. Now, the rule number one is basically understand the market direction on the 4-hour time frame. And the rule number two is basically drop to 1 hour or 30-minute time frame to identify key supply or demand levels. Now, the third rule is basically your supply or demand level must be created from decisive moves. Now, you are going to understand all of this in a bit. So now that you've understood this, the next most important thing is simply making sure that you are trading with the right broker or prop firm. And that's why we are actually partnered with one of the best brokers alongside the best prop firm that you can actually use as a forex trader. As a trader, it's very important to trade with the right broker, and that's why I'm partnered with Light Finance. Light Finance is one of the leading brokers out there with very good trading record. I personally trade with them, and that's why I always recommend them for anybody out there to actually trade with. I'm partnered with them, so in case you have any issues with them, you can actually let me know in my Telegram community, which link will be there in this video description. And one thing I'm guaranteeing is that you're never going to have issues with Light Finance. They are very easy, transparent, and straightforward, and they have so many trading pairs, and their trade executions are very fast, so that you don't have to waste your time as a trader. So guys, in case you are looking for a broker that you can actually trust with your money to really trade with, then I recommend Light Finance. Whether you're trading crypto, forex, stock, commodities, indices, it doesn't really matter. They have all of them stored in it. Now the link will be there in the pinned comment. So guys, I believe you still have the rules in mind. If you don't, you can also take a screenshot of them as we move down to our main business. So now guys, the rule number one says we need to understand the market direction on the 4-hour time frame. Now let's take a look at it from the 4-hour time frame. Now looking at the 4-hour time frame here, one thing we all can agree with is that the market is actually trading to the downside. Now let's take a look at it from this particular point here, whereby the market created, from here we could see clearly that the market printed a market shift here. Now, for those of you who don't know what market shift is basically the same as change of character that you all are aware of. So basically that is a market shift. Now from there we have a break of structure right here. Now we have a break of structure here, and another break of structure right here. So basically, let me just change it to a break of structure so you can easily understand. Now we have this over here. Now, however, some of you will say, okay, but looking at the current market position, it seems like the market is breaking to the upside. Yes, that is also true. If you look at this point here, you can see that the market is making moves to the upside. However, as long as on the 4-hour time frame we still haven't gotten a market shift to the and then a break of structure to the upside, we are basically still in a downtrend. So looking at this market right now, the best thing we could consider is basically looking for sell opportunities. Why? Because the 4-hour time frame is so evident that the market is only interested in the sales at the moment until we get a full market shift alongside a break of structure, like do have here market shift, break of structure to the downside. Until we have similar structures to the upside on the 4-hour time frame, we don't have any reason to actually change our biases. So guys, with this already known, then we'll drop down to the 30-minute time frame or the 1-hour time frame to actually look for what we want. Now, I'm more okay with the 30-minute time frame, which is my favorite time frame to actually trade with. So I'm going down to the 30-minute. So now guys, now that we're on the 30-minute time frame, the next thing is basically we need to mark out our supply or demand levels. So when it comes to marking them, you need to be very careful. You don't just mark them at random areas, because you need to mark them at areas whereby the market make decisive moves. Now looking at this particular market here, since we are interested in looking for sales, because even on the 30-minute we can see that the market is on the sell side. So since we are looking for sales, the first thing we need to do is simply mark our supply levels. Since we are selling, we need supply levels to actually sell off. So basically for that, I'm just going to come over here, and then here is a good supply level that we can see out here. And the rule says it should be a decisive level. So when we talk of decisive levels, we are basically talking about levels whereby the market moves uninterruptedly. Like for example, if you take a look at this area here, the market moved out of here without any sort of interruption coming in between. No market came back to disturb it, and it was just a nice bearish movement away. So this means that the market actually moved away decisively. In this way, it could be a good opportunity for us to actually take a sell from there. Now the reason I'm using it could be because nothing is 100% guaranteed. Yeah, the trading strategy has delivered a lot to me, but I won't say it's 100% guaranteed either. It's 70-80% win ratio, so you have to be honest with yourself whilst trading. Now the next thing you need to look for is simply when you identify levels like this, always take note of the last candle behind them, which is probably the last candle at the top of the level here. At times the market would like to go sweep up the liquidity around there, so I always like identifying it so that when we are taking our trade, we can keep the stop loss a little bit above the wick there. So now guys, now that we have this, the next thing, which is the most important part of this strategy, is simply you need to sit patiently and wait for the market to actually play into this level. Now let's actually do that and see the market play into it. So basically we remain patient and then play the market till it gets there. So now let me just play it faster a little bit. Okay, let's see what the market is trying to do. Okay, so basically let me take it backward a little bit. Now you can see the market actually came to the level. Now let me just trim it perfectly. Now basically once the market comes into the level like this, here is the next most important rule you need to have in mind. That's why those of you who skip videos after a few minutes, it's not a good habit. Now similarly, the market came into it. Now this is the most important thing. You need to wait for a 30-minute bearish close. Now if you're on the 1 hour time frame, please wait for a 1 hour bearish close. If you're on a 15-minute time frame, wait for a 15-minute bearish close. And if you're on the 30-minute time frame, which is my favorite, I wait for a 30-minute bearish close before I take my trade. So now basically the market came into it and it has given us this 30-minute candle close as well. Now the next thing we need to do from here is simply taking our trade. Now when it comes to taking our trade, basically you set your entry right here and your stop loss, make sure you keep it above this line that you drew earlier, a little some pips away from it, and you can target for a 1:2, which is one of the most decent you can go for. And if you want to get a little bit greedy, you can go as way down here. Now basically for me, 1:2 due to the current market condition is a great result, so I'm just going to mark here as the actual take profit, but we are going to see if it's actually going to go below that. Now let's just play it and see what happens. And you can see the 1:2 is smashed, and you can see the market smashed the 1:2, spike back upward, and then actually come to hit the main take profit as well. Now you can see this is the first evidence that what the strategy actually delivers. The 1:2 is cool, and if you could hold further before, you would have gotten more. Now personally, for someone like me, I would have gotten at a 1:2 in this sort of condition, and I'm being honest with you. So now this is the first that actually play out. Now let's take a look at another market and see if we can spot another opportunity. Now let's take a look at a different market here. Let me look at GBP USD, GBP chef, or which. Okay, let's take a look at GBP USD. You can see I had some setups here that the market is still running away from me. See how long I have to be patient. So I have to be patient until this market eventually comes to them before I can take my trade. Now but basically I have setup here, so I don't like interrupting markets whereby I have setup. So now let's take a look at GBP JPY. Okay, over here you can see I also have a setup I'm waiting for, meaning I still have to respect this market. I'm just looking for a market where I don't have a setup yet. Okay, apparently I don't have a setup on AUD USD. So now let's just go back in time. Now I'm just going to come over here, select date, and let me just go back to some maybe July 3rd. I'm just picking random date here. Now let us click on select. Now we have a date here. Now let's do the usual thing by coming over to the 4 hour time frame. Now on the 4 hour time frame, as usual, we have to do our same setup. Now looking at the 4 hour time frame, we could see clearly that what this one is actually on the buy side. Why? Because the market came this deep and then actually gave us a market shift right here. Now since we have this market shift and we look through, we can see that the market actually printed what we call a breakout structure right here as well. So this gives us what? A bullish momentum, meaning we could be looking for buys in this market. And looking for buys, we have so many demand here. So here's basically it. When you are selling, you look for supplies, and when you are buying, you look for demand. So since our 4 hour breakout structure and market shift goes to the upside, we are basically interested in buying. So basically now we drop down to the 30-minute time frame as usual. Now looking at the 30-minute time frame here, the only place where I will say we have a good level is right down here. Now you might be asking, why right down here? Why don't we have a good level here? And the reason why we don't have a good level here is simply because you can see clearly that this bearish candle here, despite this high momentum away from here, this bearish candle actually overpowered the bullish candle. The bearish candle was bigger than this bullish candle here, so I'm really not going to take that. That's why I came over here where the bullish candle and the bearish candle are almost the same or a bit smaller than the bullish. So basically for it now, we just have this level right here. Now let's wait if the market actually comes into it. So now let's play it and see. Now you can see the market spiked but did not get into it, and we just keep on holding and see if the market will eventually come into it. Okay, the market came into it, but what did the market do? It actually broke out of it. However, when the market broke out of it, we could see clearly that there's another demand level right behind here. So let's take hope on this one to actually hold, whilst also marking out this low here. So now let's see if this level will actually hold for us. So let's just play it and see. You can see this one also got broken, which means that apparently the market is no longer interested in buying. Now we could shift our decision to looking for selling opportunities. Why? Because the market has gone way below our usual buying expectation, which was between this level and this level right here. So now we could be looking for the selling picture. Now you just basically have to clear your drawings and then look for the sell side as well. Now drop to the 4-hour time frame. Let's see if we could see if the 4 hours created a shift. And yes, the 4 hours actually printed a shift. Now see on the 4 hour here, we could see that the market has taken out this low here as a market shift. However, we can't rush into buying. We can't rush into selling it from where it is immediately. Why? Because the market still have this level here that it seems to be respecting. So we need to have this in mind as well. So let's see if the market actually takes this out. But then we have to come down to the 30-minute time frame and now looking for selling opportunity, because eventually the market is going to break this place as usual. So now let's just take a look and see what happens from here. Now let's take a look from here if we can get some sell setups. So let me just remove the initial drawings. Now apparently you see that the market respected that previous level as I talked about earlier. The market respected it, and this gives us another buying chance. Why? Because the market couldn't break down and continue going. It actually respected that particular level. So since it respected that demand level that was created earlier, we still have to put our heads into the buy side until the market is able to take out this low here. We are still in the bullish side of the market. So now basically I'm just going to mark it again. Now here we have a breakout structure, a new market shift, I would say, on the 30-minute time frame. So here's a 30-minute time frame market shift, and behind it here we will have this level as our possible buying area. So basically we wait for the market to actually come into it again and see if it actually holds. Now the thing with this strategy is that you have to give it time to actually play out. You don't rush into trade. If you rush into trade anyhow, you are going to hit a lot of SLs. And if you want to hit more TPs, then you need to avoid the habit of getting into trades anyhow. Now you see in this situation, the market did not come back to this level. It spiked away. However, while sparking away, it actually created a level for us to consider. And that is this level right here. You can see it gave us this demand again. So now at times the market might actually run away from your level for a very long period of time. But the thing is that's why I have a lot of pairs that you are trading. That's the purpose of having all of these pairs over here. So in this sort of situation, you just move up to a different market, because if you have a setup across all of this market, this movement here where AUD is bullish, meaning USD is bearish, then gold might give you a trading opportunity, US30 will give you a trading opportunity, CAD JPY will give you a trading opportunity, USD JPY will give you a trading opportunity, including GBP USD as well. And that's why you need to have a lot of complementing pairs that you actually know. So in case the setup on one market doesn't go well, you have the other market that you are actually looking at. Now let us play it and keep on seeing what happens here if the market comes into this one. Now remember, if the market doesn't come into the level, you don't have to take the trade. Now let me play here slowly and see if it comes into it. Slowly. Okay, the market is into it, and boom, it tested it, gave us this bullish close here. So now basically as usual, we just take our sells, our buy from here, keeping the stop loss I'm just going to keep this around here. Let me take a look at how many pips. Not much of a pip. This is about just 11 pips, so it's not really that much. Now as usual, you go from 1:2, and if you want to be greedy, you can go a little bit upward. Now I say if you want to be greedy. Now let's just play it and see what happens here if we hit SL or TP. Now apparently we hit our 1:2. You see, if we went for a 1:2 before, we got that. And for those of you who went greedy, are those who actually hit SL. So guys, you can actually see I took 2 random trades with this strategy for you to actually witness with your own eyes. So guys, this is basically how this strategy is. Very simple and easy. You just have to remove greed, aim for a 1:2, 1:3. At max 1:3 is pretty cool, because here we got a 1:2. And don't forget to sign up to Light Finance using my link that will be available in this video description and alongside the pinned comment, and also sign up to Blueberry Fund in case you're looking for a reliable prop firm to actually trade with. So bye.